Hey there, everyone. Warren Broad here, clinical therapist. I want to talk about New Year's resolutions and objectives. This is the time of year when most people are looking at 2017 and looking at what they want to achieve and perhaps what some of their large goals are and what I would call end goals are. So they're looking at what they want to achieve in the end, whether that's going to take a year or a few months. Let's say it's a weight loss goal, perhaps it's 50 pounds or it's 75 pounds, and they're focused on that end goal or that end objective. Unfortunately, when we are too much focused on the end goal and not all of the little goals that are necessary to get there, the mind will go into resistance and it will go into overwhelm. This is why the bulk of New Year's resolutions don't stick, is because the objective and the end goal is too large. When we put something too large in front of our brain, ultimately it will go into resistance because of the amount of work that it knows exists between where you are now and where you eventually want to be. So the big thing that is important in creating resolutions and end goals is tracking that back. So it's important to have the end goal. And then the next thing is tracking that back to where you are right now. So what are you going to do on a daily basis? What are you going to do on a weekly basis in order to achieve the end goal? Knowing the end goal is important, but ultimately the focus needs to be on a daily basis or even on a weekly basis. The smaller we make it, the more achievable and the less resistance you're going to see towards your end goals. So if it's something like you want to write a blog post or you want to lose weight, how are you going to achieve that on a daily basis? What are the small incremental changes that are required for you to get there? That needs to be your primary area of focus. If it is, you will drop your resistance down where achieving and making these changes becomes much more palatable. So go with what we call the small ask. What is the small thing that you can do today, this hour, this day, this week, rather than where do I want to be a year from now? Or even sometimes resistance will come in even just thinking about in a full month. What's important is to observe within yourself where do you want that? Where do you want to put your focus? Is it easier for you to put your focus on a daily regimen? Are you able to accept a weekly regimen? Some people wouldn't find much resistance even looking at a month. Ultimately, much more than a month, you are going to have resistance, and most likely the enjoyment that you're going to receive in the path to what you're looking to change is going to be very minimal. If you can set your goals on a daily or on a weekly basis, you're going to win more often. And ultimately, when you win more often, your sense of self-esteem, your sense of self-worth, and your success rate is going to go up. In turn, there won't be the resistance, and you'll begin enjoying your process of moving towards your end goal rather than it feeling like an entire fight the whole way and something that is providing very little fulfillment or enjoyment that ultimately you're probably going to give up on. So look at the small ask. Look at what's necessary on a daily, sometimes even on an hourly basis of how you're going to get from where you are to where you want to go. Have a great day, have a great new year, and I wish you all well. Thank you. Bye-bye.